As we all know, this weekend marks the interim heavyweight title fight between Tom Aspinall and Sergei Pavlovich. This fight serves as a replacement for the Jon Jones vs. Stipe fight that was originally set to headline. Unfortunately, Jones tore his pectoral muscle during training, leading to his withdrawal from the bout. When the Jones vs. Stipe matchup was announced, the majority of people voiced their discontent, arguing that Jones shouldn't be fighting Stipe. This was mainly because Stipe's last fight occurred over 2 years ago, where he was brutally knocked out by Francis Ngannou. The question of whether this warranted a title shot led to much debate. However, whether you agree or disagree with this decision, it's irrelevant. The UFC is determined to see Jones face Stipe for the heavyweight belt. So, we'll have to wait and see how that situation unfolds to determine if Jones will fight the winner of this weekend's monumental clash. Speaking of which, Sergei Pavlovich seems to have garnered significant hype, the reasons for which remain somewhat unclear to me. While everyone talks about his power, and yes, he clearly hits hard, I don't recall him ever knocking anyone out cold with a punch like Ngannou has done. He reminds me of Paulo Costa, a volume puncher. He might not possess the power people attribute to him, rather, he lands effectively because heavyweights tend to be slower and struggle to evade strikes. The opponents he's finishing in the first round are often sloppy strikers, such as Tai Tuivasa, who had a substantial reach disadvantage. Curtis Blades inexplicably refrained from shooting takedowns until he was already hurt, and Derek Lewis, another brawler resembling Tai Tuivasa, lacked head movement and suffered a significant reach disadvantage. Admittedly, these are all high-level fighters, but the Derek Lewis who faced Almeida this past weekend would likely fare better against Sergei than the slow and overweight version we witnessed. This is a fight I'd like to see revisited. My point is that Sergei might be overrated, and he could struggle if he doesn't face a plodding heavyweight who becomes his punching bag. With all that muscle to carry, I doubt there's a chance he'll remain dangerous come the third round. I believe Aspinall's speed will prevent him from getting cornered by the raging Russian. This is why I'm predicting an Aspinall victory by submission. I anticipate Sergei to approach the fight as he always does, seeking a first-round finish. However, because Aspinall moves like a welterweight, finding his chin will be a challenging task. By the end of the first round, when Sergei has exhausted himself, I can envision Tom moving in, landing solid shots, and eventually forcing a takedown from Pavlovich in the second or early third round. This could lead to a guillotine choke or a finish via ground and pound. I don't foresee Aspinall's leg giving him any issues, as it seems to have fully recovered from the leg snap against Blades. As long as he survives the first round onslaught, I believe he can secure the win. In my opinion, Aspinall is a much more well-rounded fighter than Sergei. Does Sergei even pose a submission threat? He heavily relies on his power, and if that doesn't work, as we saw in the Overeem fight, he tends to crumble. While many talk about Pavlovich's boxing, I don't see anyone discussing Aspinall's, which, in my view, is equally impressive. Aspinall possesses lightning-fast hands and enough power to hold his own in striking exchanges. I anticipate this fight will be very one-sided, with Tom delivering a performance that shocks the world and propels him to become the next UK megastar. Feel free to share your disagreements in the comments section below. Until next time, I am the MMA spokesman. Don't forget to subscribe.